Welcome back to another episode of the Coco Caliente Jenny and Coco Show, a mother and daughter production where we talk about everything and nothing all at the same time. Thank you so much for being here. We're happy to have you guys, and thank you for those of you who come back and listen to us week after week. We really appreciate it, and we do like this hour-ish of alone time that we get every week. I'd say that's the only guaranteed time that we're not with Arrow.
Yeah, and it's nice to rehash like everything we did all week and think about it and just think about what might be interesting to somebody else and what we find interesting.
And I want to clarify, the best 8 minutes of our day are when we're with Arrow, but it's nice to kind of be able to have an adult conversation is all I mean, without juggling a baby on our lap or hip or whatever it may be. So this past weekend, we went camping, and it was our first big camping trip of the year. And normally my parents have what's it called, annual?
We had a seasonal. We haven't had that since COVID started, but we used to have it.
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
And so it was different. It was different than, I liked it a lot better than just camping seasonally because it felt like more special because we don't do it as often anymore.
And like what she's saying too, we went to the same place where we had the seasonal. So we'd only always been in the one site, like pretty much there. And it was nice. I liked our site, and actually like it was kind of cool because we were in a site with a whole bunch of trees, and Nicole's like, I never noticed in the center there's so many trees and stuff. It just was different, but it felt so rushed. I could not believe it when we were already packing up this morning. We went Friday early, noonish, one-ish, something. Early afternoon anyways, we went. And this morning, we come back about noon again, and it just seemed like it flew by. The kids are like...
you really only have that one day, Saturday all day. Friday you're unpacking, and Sunday you're packing. Checkout's at 11. So
somebody said 1, but 11 or 1. Well, I'm just going to tell you in case they say, no, we're open till 1 o'clock. Yeah.
I think it is. I think it's 11.
I don't know, so I don't.
Oh, maybe not. I don't know. I thought I read online that it was 11. Anyways, but yeah, so we got there, and then Saturday, actually me, Victor, and Arrow, we stayed in a cabin. So this was our first time staying in a cabin, and it was really cool. It had air conditioning. It had lots of beds, a mini fridge, a microwave, which we didn't use the microwave, and then
a nice big log kitchen table, like.
Yeah.
I was a little sad. I didn't really spend no time in it. Like I've seen it when it walked in it twice. I think that's literally.
Yeah, it was cute. It was cute. It just didn't have running water, that I could find on the outside either. So that was a little bit different. And then going to the bathroom, I could not make it to the bathroom, so I just had to pee outside. I don't know if that's allowed. My mom just gave me the eyebrows. In the middle of the night, I am not hiking it up to the bathroom. No, I would have did the same thing. Like, I was definitely. Like, there's no way that. And plus, those minutes that I'm up, Arrow's screaming because he can tell I'm gone.
And I definitely have been at a campground where I've had to pee outside before too, when we've way back in the day when we tented. And I mean, it's a long walk, and I'm not walking in the dark or waking somebody up to walk with me either. And the cabins are positioned kind of close to the bathroom, but actually my site was actually closer to the bathroom than your guys' cabins.
It was. So that's what we did this past weekend. It was nice, and hopefully we get to do it one more time.
I'm hoping 2 more times. Labor Day for sure, so I'm hoping for a time in between. We're getting better at it, like better at the setup, closing everything in. I clean it all right there.
So for help people who don't camp a lot, what are some things that are must pack? I guess you glamp, by the way. You have a nice camper. You don't tent camp. So we're not talking about tent camping. We're talking about kind of like.
I'll tell you some easy tips that I think we're always, talking about hosting versus visitor. Like this weekend, we planned it to hang out with Nicole's cousins, which my nieces and nephews of the older children, 30 in the 30s, or young 30, 20, 30. Yeah. So we all hung out and met up there, and one of them got a cabin. Nicole got a cabin, but we did all the hosting at our camper. We're the older ones, and we have the water and stuff. But to make it easier for that, I'm going to tell you an example. This is they all love homemade mac and cheese. Who doesn't love homemade mac and cheese? So you just make sure you have a crock pot. I pre-boil the noodles, and I get what are those ones called, Nicole? The spiral,
Yeah, it starts with a CAL if you're the fancy, but they're just spiral noodles.
Yeah, but so you just boil them pretty much, but not soft.
Not rotini. It's like a CA something. You'll see it at the grocery store.
Like they're spiral and thicker, yeah. So you just like you boil them, and I put them right in a baggie, put them in the fridge. Then I just have to throw them, butter, all the sharp cheese and the sour cream into a crock pot and stir it. And everybody loves mac and cheese. Like that's what I do is
she preps a little at home.
I prep a lot at home.
A lot.
We only cook on the charcoal grill up there, so like we had spare ribs. I pre-cooked, them halfway in the oven before we left. Potatoes, sometimes if we're going to have them for breakfast, I like kind of boil them whole so they're easy to do up there. But this year we just threw baked potatoes on, and then just use it for breakfast the next day. But even any macaroni salad, I don't even mix it or anything, but I boil the noodles, get the storage bags. Everything just goes in storage bags, and so it's so easy, and I take cookers. And we put everything on the table outside.
So we didn't have to do any boiling while we were there.
And we didn't use an oven or a burner or anything. I even made biscuits, which I was worried about this, but we had biscuits and gravy for breakfast, so I did all the biscuits and put them in the big storage bags the day before, and then
she cooked them and then put them in.
And then did the gravy up there, of course. But that was the first time I had ever.
That was a hit.
Making gravy in a crock pot, and it actually worked. I was a little worried because of the boiling method of mixing everything, but it was really good.
Yeah, it was. This episode is brought to you by Gladskin. So Gladskin is really cool, you guys. If you get breakouts, you've probably tried a ton of treatments and maybe didn't get the results that you want. And so Gladskin is a solution that supports healthy, balanced skin. And for Arrow, that's eczema. And we use the kids, and it's like a kid's baby eczema cream. It's we put it on his belly button because that's where he has eczema, and he has it on his arms as well. And so we put it there, and it works really well. So what Gladskin is, it's a new category of skin blemish treatment that works differently than any plant-based or drug-based product you have tried before, because Gladskin is based on the nature of healthy skin. Inflammatory blemishes and acne-prone skin are caused by an imbalance in the skin layers. And so the Gladskin Blemish Gel works without harsh ingredients, and it's gentle from day one. And there's a 60-day guarantee. So right now, Gladskin is offering our listeners 15% off plus free shipping on your order at gladskin.com/coco. That's gladskin.com/coco for 15% off plus free shipping. gladskin.com/coco.
So I think crock pot for sure, and like a skillet with a lid. And
just prepping some food
putting in
stuff.
baggies. So you could, if say you even tent camp, it'd be so easy if you had all that stuff in baggies, or like the Ziploc baggies, and you just pour everything out. I'm trying to think of what we make sure we have.
I guess, when we go camping, my mom has everything like in her camper. So me and Victor, this is the first time we were like, oh shoot, we got to bring like ketchup and mustard, and we didn't even use, I don't think, ours. But I did
forget a few things this time.
Blankets, bug spray, which homemade bug spray is probably better than maybe some of the off with the chemicals. I'm not really sure, but that's what we did. And then sunblock, hats.
A couple outside games, like that's a big hit with us, like to do things. It was actually rainy.
Cornhole.
But we still made things so we could like
We take cornhole, we take Cubs, we like to take Monopoly Deal. If you ever played that, that's a card game that's only a little pack of cards. We played spoons this year.
Yeah, I like to have that kind of stuff. You know where I need to put in my camper when I get home? A deck of cards. We went to go play euchre because we got rained out and we came inside, and Ashley, she dug them out. She dealt the cards, and we're missing like 4 cards. We didn't even know. Dave's like, hilarious. Oh, there's no cards because she didn't count them. So I threw my deck of cards away, and we used the spoon cards. So I have to make sure I put some new cards in there. But it was just funny. And
it just went by so fast. So I would say, like, if you can camp like a longer weekend, that's probably better because it is a lot. Camping is, I never really understood it because it's a lot of work to go somewhere to make things a little more. It's fun though to make things. Okay, yeah, it's funny. You go somewhere to make things a little bit harder on yourself. I chose to stay in a place with no bathroom, no sink, and I was so grimy by the end. I just felt, ooh. But
you came in the cabin and the camper and took a shower.
Yeah, but isn't it kind of funny though that people go into the woods to just with a bunch of other campers And then, I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's just funny to me when I think about it.
And I really, 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 even though it was super busy, we'll talk about, are you a host, like a person that hosts, or do you like to be a visitor? Because it's so on different ends of the spectrum. Like we had a lot of visitors this weekend.
I think you'd like to be both, right?
Yeah, but I feel like I'm more always a hoster than a visitor. Do you?
You are.
I'm not like, and so I'm busy. So that kind of like is a little bit hard. Like,
yeah, it's totally hard if you're cooking everything all the time.
And then cleaning up. And I like to put everything in back away. And the camper is just nice and clean and new. So I don't want it to get too crazy. So I try to put everything away like right after. And
I think it's just important that whether you are like the host or the guest, then everyone should clean up and everyone should help cook. You know, just think some people do and some people don't.
Yeah, it makes it just a lot of work, but I slept so good. And that's just funny because it's in a camper and it's definitely not uneven. Or when you park it, and the kids are in there and they're walking, like it's a fifth wheel. So we're like up a little bit, them 3 steps. I can feel the whole thing shake, but I still sleep so good. And I asked Dave this today too. I'm like, did you sleep good? And he said, I slept great this whole weekend. So it's in our yard, back in our yard set up when we got home. And he's like, well, we can sleep in it out here if you want. Like, that's not the same. But I think what she's saying about making more work, it is making more work, but it's getting away from your work at home.
No, it is. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I like it. It's just funny, like what we do for fun.
No, but that's why I think even if it's it's a different kind of work. So that's like, when you're at home, you have a million projects to do. We just got home today, literally, and when I came over here today, my husband's going to get his tractor because he's going to tear out shrubs tonight yet. I'm like,
my gosh.
Yes.
That dead one in front of your house?
And all the ones that look like that are still alive too, because he says you don't like any of them. So he wants to put a new top of the porch on this week. So he's like, I got to pull all the shrubs out. So yeah, he's getting a tractor. I said, can't you just relax?
I never said I don't like them. I just said that one needs pulled out.
No, not you, me. Oh. He was talking to me. I don't like them kind of shrubs.
You've had them for 20 years.
30.
30.
I do not like them kind of shrubs. I mean, he just will never tell me. When I ask him, he always says no. But now that the one is dead, and he said he'll take out all 4 of them.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so that's what he's going to be working on tonight. Yeah, I should have told you, and you'd come over and you'd say, what the heck looks different in the front yard?
Oh, I would have noticed. I've been wanting to chainsaw that top of that thing off. I wanted to take a bush trimmer and just... Bzzz.
But I never noticed it being brown last year. I think
it wasn't. It just happened. I don't understand that. That's so crazy.
I never put any of them in. They were in... they're the kind that look like... Well, how would you describe them? Does everybody all know?
Homer Simpson's mom's hair. Does she have blue tall hair? Is that who that is?
I don't know. But but like...
it's like a long, tall pole.
And they're picky. I think they're kind of like the picky shrubs.
I remember Dad freaking trimming those my whole life, and the pieces that come off are tiny, and he wants you to pick them all up. I'm like, no.
No, now, yeah, but the last few years he got smarter. He just uses the leaf blower and blows them a little bit into the lawn. Yeah, you got to pick things up, and yeah, they're not.
Victor trimmed some of our shrubs, and they're already grown. They grow fast, so that's something you got to keep up on. This episode is brought to you by Sakara. Feeling your best starts with what you eat. Sakara helps you live a healthy, balanced lifestyle and truly enjoy it. With delicious, plant-rich, transformational nutrition that builds a foundation for living in your best body. Sakara is a wellness company anchored in food as medicine on a mission to nourish your body through the power of plants. So they nutritionally designed chef-crafted breakfasts, lunch, and dinners made with powerful plant-rich ingredients that help boost your energy, support digestion, curb your sugar cravings, and get your skin glowing. Plus, it's all delivered right to your door, ready to eat. And right now, Sakara is offering our listeners 20% off their first order when they go to sakara.com/COCO. Enter code COCO at checkout. That's Sakara, SAKARA.com/COCO, COCO, to get 20% off your first order, sakara.com/COCO. Okay, I'll tell you guys a secret, which the previous owner did, which was really smart. There are 4 shrubs in my front yard that are not real, and they look so real. And
so perfect.
They're perfect. And someone had messaged me on my Instagram and said, that's a bad spot for a shrub. It's going to grow taller than your guest bedroom window, and you're not going to be able to see your pretty view. Well, actually, it's not real. And it's awesome. The reason she did it, she said that the deer would always eat her bushes and stuff. But I like it because I don't got to trim them. They're not messy, and they look great. You cannot
tell. Nobody would ever know that they're...
Like, my mom, when I told her, she, like, was right in front of them. She's like, I don't believe you. And then she touched them. She's like, wait, really? I'm like, yes. I think they're,
I never knew that. It's not that I didn't believe her. I never heard of that before. Never.
They're very real looking. I think there's probably different levels, and she went all out and got, like...
Yeah. I just never really heard of that before, because that's really a good idea.
Oh, yeah. You don't know maintenance.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I want to do that for all... No, but that's kind of bad.
No, because then they don't... You like, the flowering ones are so pretty here. Like, you want the flowering bushes, but for like the kind that, that are hard to trim and whatever, those are them kind, though, kind of, that if you did trim them, they would have the fine stuff, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And then when we used to camp before the seasonal, we were gonna, every year you had to put $100 down to hold your spot. Well, we planned on going back that next year, so I put $100 down on the camper. So then when it's been a few years since I've been there, and she's like, "Oh, the lady said you still have $100 credit on your site." So that was so fun. So we took that instead of, they have nice stuff in the shop, like t-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff, but instead of that, I just had Nicole, Jesse, Arrow, and Ashley pick out little trinkets. So they had fun, because it's stuff that I would not normally waste my money on. Like, what we buy with that $100?
I got a bracelet. We all got matching camping bracelets that were $4.99, and then I got this cute little ring, and I posted it on my story already, and it was only $2.99. And then I got this cool camper magnet that was $9.99. That's also a bottle opener. And then Arrow what did Arrow get? You got him a wand. Wand that you shake, and it's like glittery inside.
And then a whole bag of farm animals.
A bag of farm animals. A couple suckers and taffies, but those were more for you guys.
Yeah.
My mom got herself a walking stick.
And that was Jesse was just doing it. He said, let's go back to with this walk, because we're on uneven ground, and that makes my knee and ankle like throb. So like for the next 3 days, I'm going to be so sore because it was so uneven. But he said, let's take this back for a joke, but you can use it this weekend, but you're not using it again. I'm like, I'm not going to use it, period. But I would never have bought that.
You might need that, though, Mom.
Somebody who drinks too much beer might need it, too.
Victor needed it because of his back.
Well, he can use it. But anyways,
$19.99, you guys, for this walking stick. I'm just filling them in on how much everybody's thing was. Jesse got a mug for $7.99. Listen to this, you guys. You guys know Jesse's my mom's favorite. So I went up to my mom this morning, and I was like, hey, Mom, what about, she was
this is while we're in the store, and I was looking at stickers.
She was looking at stickers. She wanted something that said the campground's name on it. And I'm like, okay, how about this was like a really big, nice mug for $7.99. I'm like, what about this mug? And she's
like a soup mug.
She's like, no. She just said what. I'm like, whatever. And then 5 minutes later, Jessie shows it to her, and she's like, oh yeah, I want 2 of those. I'm like, really? Jessie shows it to you and you want 2 of them, and I show you and you want none? So then her and Jessie both got a mug.
Well, but it didn't quite work like that. I was talking to the lady that owned the store, and I was trying to get a specific Campers Haven sticker to put onto my golf cart or whatever. And I was looking to how they slid, like where they kept that one in the little drawers. And so she asked me, I didn't even look over, and I said, no, I don't need any mugs, because we literally have 1,000 mugs. Yeah, I know, but I was
talking about for the camper, though, because you only have these little tiny mugs.
But I didn't even look at it. I didn't look at the size of it. I didn't even glance over. I just said, I do not need no mugs. Well, then the lady added up all the stuff, and I said, well, we still have we had almost $20 left still. I said, Jesse, just go pick something out. He got ice cream. Everybody
he got ice cream too.
Yeah, and so I said, go grab something else. And he went to and he got a big grate for going over the fireplace to cook, and 2 spatulas. Oh, did he
get one of those?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That was smart.
That was the first day we went. He asked somebody that fits over there to cook over top of the
fire pit.
Yeah, so he got that the day before because we went twice. The first day we only used $40-some, so we still had all that left.
You don't have to give every little
but
detail.
I'm explaining.
Basically, yeah.
So then when the mug, he did show me the mug. I said, "Oh, perfect," because we used the Keurig there, and the cups got too full.
Mom's like, "That's not the one you showed me, Nicole." I'm like, "Yes, it is, Mom."
So I didn't do it on purpose. I just did not look when she was asking.
And you know what Jesse does? Jesse just raises his eyebrows and smiles at me because he knows. Yeah. He's Mom's favorite, but it doesn't bug me, you guys. I'm totally cool with that.
That is not true. I do not have a favorite. Except for Little Arrow.
I do want... I would rather Jessie be your favorite, but I don't want to talk about it. It's fine. It's fine. She just loves Jessie a tiny bit more. This episode is brought to you by Function of Beauty. The key to consistent hair days? Well, it's using ingredients that benefit your hair. Function of Beauty makes hair care products that are 100% customizable, made for your hair, where it's at now and where you want it to go. So right now, this is how it works. You first take the quick hair quiz, you build your hair profile, you select 5 hair goals like lengthen, volumize, and oil control. Like, for example, does your hair get frizzy in the winter but oily in the summer? So this can formulate depending on which season you're in. So it's really nice. And then you can choose your color. You can choose your fragrance or go dye-free and fragrance-free. It's up to you. And then you get the freshly filled formula delivered straight to your door and prepare for good hair days ahead. And you also get to put your name on there. So it's really cool. It's cruelty-free. It's vegan. They don't use sulfates or parabens. And they're also, you can go completely silicone-free as well. So say goodbye to generic hair care for good today. So if you go to functionofbeauty.com/Coco to take your hair goals quiz, and you can save 25% off your first order. Go to functionofbeauty.com/Coco to let them know you heard about it from our show and to get 25% off your first order. That's functionofbeauty.com/Coco to take your hair quiz and save 25% off your first order. And then, I was going to talk about the grate. That's called a crate or grate.
It's like the grate thing.
Yeah, so my cousin Chelsea came up with this cool idea, and she didn't come up with it. I think she showed us it. So you get these metal pie tins, you put butter in it, and then you whisk your eggs, and then you throw in whatever toppings you want, and then you put, she did like eggs. She had eggs, onion, peppers, cheese, and you could do like bacon or meat if you wanted. And then you put the lid on it, and then you put it over on this grate over the fire. And then it cooks and you have eggs.
And she calls them
eggs scramble. And Victor kept teasing her, I've never heard, is it kind of like scrambled eggs?
And she's like, what? And so it's forever going to be egg scrambles. Just because we have a group text before about what we're all bringing. And she's like, I'll bring everything for egg scrambles. And so nobody said anything back. But we're like, we cannot wait to see what these egg scrambles are. So then.
Scrambled eggs.
So then we got there, yeah. But it was a really good idea because not even that. There's a lot of things you could throw in them. But she said they come in a pack of.
I was hoping like mushrooms. Oh, that would be good. We're going to do that next time.
And she said they come in a pack of at the dollar store for 3 for $1. So yeah, you just get a few packs of those and you put them, and then 20 minutes, and you open it up and you had yourself a great big they kind of looked like omelets when they're done. Then you fluff it up and yeah. Okay,
so yeah, that was awesome. Back to you could probably put milk if you wanted to make them fluffy too. Back to your host versus guest thing. I do host sometimes, but I don't really have fun when I host. Do you have fun when you host?
I do.
You're good at it. I feel like you can let loose a little bit, where I feel like I'm high strung and trying to like make sure everyone's having a good time. But you make sure everyone's having a good time, but I'm just more high strung about it.
Yeah. And it's just years and years of practice of just always doing it. I'm used to it. And if I'm not hosting anyways, wherever I am, I feel like I'm doing.
You're entertaining, that's for sure.
So I feel like but I'm saying I'm up cooking or cleaning no matter what. Anyways,
or coming up with games.
Yeah, I don't just.
She was playing Truth or Dare, you guys, at the fire last night. 2 nights ago. Was that last night?
Yeah. Anytime I start laughing and just doing stuff, they're like, "You're drunk," and I'm like, this was like 8:00, and I said. I'm on my second beer since noon. I don't think I'm.
You can't never tell unless she's talking out of the side of her mouth. Then you know she's drinking. But I'm like, yeah, she's just being goofy. But she was truth or daring. She was sending people over to go get someone from that campsite to take a bite of this melon. Like,
and he did it. He got
3 women to take a bite of that melon.
Yeah, and I just picked up a piece of, like, was it watermelon or mushmelon that I gave them? And I just gave it to him, and I was just like, and everybody was just laughing. They're like, why would you want him? I said, it's so funny.
Then he got my single uncle of 40 years, 30 years. He got a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah, I just like to just see if I'm like secretly, you can't say you're doing a dare, but just go over there and casually talk and like just do funny stuff. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of goes back to like how I said I would like to be on that.
Yep, and Practical Jokers.
Because I am a big jokester, and I just like to. But when I just randomly do it like out of the blue, they're like, what's going on with you? I'm like, and I'll just laugh and laugh and laugh at myself because it's just funny. I don't know.
That's the thing with that stuff is you and I blow our covers because we laugh. But if you got to be good at it, we can't laugh. You know what I mean? You got to keep a serious face. Otherwise, people know we're joking or being dumb. But it's like, there's this girl on Instagram who always pranks her husband, and she keeps a straight face. And I'm like, how does she do that? Because it's so funny. Mom always has a little grin on her face. I can tell when she's up to something.
And yeah, it's just funny because they all just look at me like, okay, where is this coming from? I don't know. It's fun. I love pranks, and I don't like people pranking me though. So that's the fun. Like that kind of stuff, I wouldn't care. But like if they like really pranked me, I don't know.
I know. Jessie told me, hey, tell Mom when she gets back, tell Mom that I just had a beer chugging contest with everybody. And that's how, I'm like, no, because Mom...
That's not even a prank.
No, but he knows that will get Mom riled up, and he thinks that that's funny. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that because I know that she'll believe it and be concerned. Like stuff like that. Jessie's like, tell Mom that.
My poor 27-year-old son, I count how many beers he has and how many seconds are in between. Oh my God,
this is what she called him into the camper yesterday, and she goes, there's only 7 minutes between that beer and that beer. He goes, how do you know? She goes, I set a timer.
And I really didn't. I just told him that. But it was less than 15 minutes. But I was like, jeepers, he's drinking too fast. He just drinks fast.
He drinks juice, everything. Like, I don't know. He's just never...
He says he's thirsty 24/7.
Yeah, when we used to live together at Mom and Dad's house when we were younger, he just down whatever it was, like chug, 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 and drink like a gallon of something. Then once, and it's not like diabetes or anything. He just can drink. I don't know. And so that's how he drinks anything.
Yeah, I'd have to have a whole entire grocery cart just full of beverages. And he isn't a big water drinker, which makes it really hard. So, Gatorade Zeros. And
he's like, what else you got besides water?
Yeah, he says, what else you got after I'll drink 4 things and say, what else you got? I want something different. I'm like, okay, you just had a Sprite Zero, a Gatorade Zero, what else? Some juice out of the fridge. I'm like, I don't know. Like, he just likes to drink.
He has always been like that.
And the shop is all set up here at the house, and we had a few friends and family over last week. So she got the basement was all cleaned up, and we got to have some
that was nice
wine and some appetizers and visit. It was just we had visiting time actually, so that was the best part of it, was just visiting and them seeing how we have everything, and it was good.
Yeah, it was nice to have that all cleaned up and good to go. And now, if anybody ever wants to stop and shop, then they just get a hold of me, and you can do that. Because I got a bathroom down there and a long mirror, so you can try things on. You can see how they look. And if you are shopping in store, as of now, I'm doing a 15% off discount because it's just easier for me, mostly, right? Because I don't got to package everything unless I'm, like, doing all these appointments or something. Then I would just have, like, a time. But for you guys listening, though, I do want to offer you guys a 20% off discount, which is the biggest discount that we've ever had. We haven't gone bigger than 20% ever. And the code is PODCASTFAM, so PODCASTFAM, just because we appreciate you guys listening. And you guys can use that to get 20% off at FrannyandtheFox.com, which we have women's, kids, babies.
Lots of accessories, especially.
Lots of accessories,
yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't even tell Nicole about this, and I was going to talk about it, but I just was reading, I got my mail before I came here, and I was reading the newspaper, and like scams, like all the scam, like you'll see even on Facebook, people put, I've been hacked, which I quite don't understand what the hacking thing is, but all of a sudden it'll say hello in your messages, or are you there, or something like, and then they'll say they were hacked. So I don't know what the purpose of what it's going to go to later on, but on the front page of the paper, I had read about this, and it's like crazy. Okay, it's in the paper, so I can say it, but Taylor Kramer's dad, he owns a business, like, and they've had 3 generations they own this business for, and it's big write-up, and somebody got their information, got a phone number the same as theirs, but a different area code, and is advertising all these really nice, like, tractors and machinery and all this stuff for sale. And when you call the number, and it's not, like, really cheap. It's, like, almost the price of what it'd be, but a deal. And here, they had been selling it to all these people. People are showing up to that business to buy this stuff, and they have put down $50,000, $25,000, $30,000, like different amounts of payments, and it's not right. You know what I'm saying? One guy I got to read it better, but it said one guy actually, he's like, "Oh my gosh, that's all my money."
Oh my gosh!
So
really?
They're just and what happened? Like they called a business in town, another business said, is this a reputable business? Because they wanted to make sure before they come up, and they didn't know that there's a scam going around, and they're like, yes, that's like 3-generation business. They're honest people. And here they're all showing up there with trailers out of state. They're not even answering any phone calls from people in Michigan because they know they're just doing it. They're putting it all out of state, and they're coming up here. It's like, say they put $50,000 down on a tractor. They're coming down here, and the money's gone. They're coming to their business, and it had nothing to do with them. They're using their name the whole time they talk on the phone to them. They have the same phone number, just minus the area code. And
So what do you do about that?
Well, there's no way to get the money back, they said. I don't even know who, so be very careful of scams, like double, triple check. But like these other people, they did check. They called another business like that in the area and even asked, is this a reputable business? That's like somebody just calling me and asking me, is the mini market store legit in your town? Yes. If you're dealing with, and they're using her name that owns it or whatever. Yeah, they're good people. And so you say that. And then they're wiring their money and they can't get it. And they've been doing it for a while. It's like huge.
That's really sad.
It's just hard on, and it's not like small change. It's big chunks of money that people are paying for the different things that they're advertising for sale.
Wow.
I was just like, I mean, I've seen like so many scams, and I'm always like one of them people like, I could not be scammed. You know what I mean? Would you think that about yourself? Like,
oh, Mom, you could be. You click on stuff in your email all the time.
I meant like maybe a scam where they get
call.
Like I could never be scammed into. But Dave, I know he finds them all the time because he'll find all these good things that. If he's looking for a Ranger, I'm gonna go get this. I'm like, Dave, that don't even look like the right kind of a number. You're not going to call there. And if you can't, and some they'll say just text this number, and then they'll call you back 12 times saying. That's
why we try to buy even vehicles local. We found our newest truck local, just in a couple towns over. That's always good. No,
I just want to tell everybody. And, if you ever have any interesting scam stories, I'd like to read about them. It's nice to make people more aware, but it's
the older people that they really go for, even like the 80s and 90s, because they're the ones with the home phone. And I had someone tell me that their dad went to like a Family Dollar and was buying all these gift cards. And the clerk actually was like, "Who are these gift cards for?" And then they kind of figured it out. But he thought he had to do this for one of his companies. It's sad because he really believed he had to do this. And then the next stop was his bank. So, they target the older, the more
these
trusting.
People actually were looking to purchase stuff on their own. So it was just me say I wanted to go get how you want a golf cart.
Yeah.
So say I'm looking for a golf cart, and then I found one. I'm like, oh, this is a good deal, and it's the right price, the right everything. And, okay, wire this much money to hold it, and you just check because it's a legit business. You look it up online because they're using that business's name.
Yeah.
So you're looking it up. They have 5 stars, reputable business. and then this is it, 3 generations strong, and then you send your money, and then you go to pick it up there, and it literally, they have no idea what you're talking about. They don't even have golf carts at this place. Like that's like how crazy it is.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and it's really hard. And there's nothing you can do. You wired your money and you gave your money.
You do have to trust. It's like hard. There's a fine line between, trust but verify. I guess that's.
And
what
some people
say.
Are like, say you're selling camper, they're like, well, first come, first serve. So you got to hurry, and you get pressured before you even look at things sometimes to put money down and save your spot and like.
I would
stuff.
like to try to see your stuff, even if it's far away, and if it sells, it's not meant to be, because you do not want to. There was times when Victor was looking for a new car, and he drove 3 hours one time, and he got there, and the door didn't even open. Like, it looked in perfect condition, and it was everything he wanted. He got there, and the door, I think it was like duct taped. Like, no, he had to drive 6 hours, 3 hours there, 3 hours back to figure that out, but. I'm glad he didn't just purchase it over the phone.
And wasn't it even from like a place that sells lots of cars, like a dealership? It wasn't even just a house.
Yes.
So it was like, that was.
Well,
he's like, you're not gonna believe this when he like sends the pictures later.
I was gonna freaking believe it because Dad tells him stay in this area. I feel like there's more people we know in this area, and it's like they're way better. Than going for us, it's just way better than going to the city with I feel like there's a lot of people make a lot of money on their scams. Some people live off of scams.
No, they do. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're
like family income is just for.
Them people are, for some reason, they're really, really smart at computers and like figuring out how. Like, I would have no idea how to scam anybody. I would. No, I would like. Here's a toaster. It works.
Yeah.
I don't know,
No, and then the people, though, in the email, those scams are... So sometimes I ignore everything in my email because I'm like, it could be a scam. And then sometimes it's my bills or something that I needed to look at. But I'm like, I'm not clicking on that link. I never click on any links. I don't trust it. Someone broke into my mom's email once. And
they stole my Instagram and everything. They put... a different picture with my name, and I don't know, thank goodness Nicole figured out knew somebody that knew how to get it back, but I was like so scared because I'm like, are they going to write to these people and saying, why do they want my Instagram?
And it was like it was
my personal Instagram with and I don't even, I have like 6 pictures on there. I probably had 4 at the time, but I didn't want them writing to people and like.
Oh, then they bought a bunch of gift cards they bought a bunch of gift cards from your email.
Oh,
So they go on your email and they look at what account. It was a weird store. Was it a tractor store?
No, it was something I used before. It wasn't bad. It was something where I must have had my credit card logged in or my PayPal account logged into it.
And they bought like a couple $500 things.
It was to Best Buy. It was literally Best Buy, and I when I was looking, and they ordered something really big. It wasn't even a gift card.
It vacuum.
Was like a very, very expensive vacuum, and then
gift
and
cards.
It got delivered, and then here it was. They're saying to a hotel. I got my money all back from that stuff. And
then you could see where they shipped it.
Yes. And it was in the U.S. It was
so they just wanted to buy that, and they're going to go return it and get the $2,000 back, and then they were buying themselves a bunch of gift cards.
Yeah,
I remember I was panicking.
The gift cards, when they did it, thank goodness they actually could stop that because they have like a number on them and they hadn't been used because we caught it like right then. But the vacuum had already been in shipping. They tried to stop it through the UPS. They couldn't and did get delivered because you know how fast shipping is. This was, how many years ago was this? About 3. And they, the gift cards, they just canceled all the transaction numbers, which they were big gift cards. But I'm like, and I had only used that. It was Best Buy for sure. I used the gift card I got a credit card. Me and Victor both did because we bought those big, what are those? Those big.
The Mac computers.
We both bought a Mac computer and it was like free financing for 18 months if you opened up the account. So we both got them for Christmas that year and we both had got that. And I just paid my thing. And so my thing was $0. I just did the 18 months that you needed to pay. Never used that card again. And then this happened.
They can get into all your stuff. So just so you know, like anything that's in your email, which is a lot of private stuff, then they go through every single thing. So.
And see like what's linked to your PayPal and what's linked to a credit card. So I must have had a Best Buy statement in there from the computer from the monthly payments. And they got my card and and did all that. I was like, that's the only thing they got, though, was that into my PayPal, and I canceled the PayPal immediately, too, and I still do not have PayPal because I'm too worried about it.
Do you have anything else, Mom?
Nope, that should be good.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate you, and we will catch you guys next week. Bye.
If you want to be the most interesting person at the cocktail party, well, hop on over and listen to the Brain Candy podcast.
Our award-winning content will have you laughing while you're learning.
We read all the best articles, books, and studies, and keep up with new TV shows, documentaries, and pop culture. And then we cram it all into 2 shows a week.
Conspiracy theories, cannibal rabbits, unsolved mysteries, the history of the Walkman. There's something for everyone.
The Brain Candy podcast. Find our link in the show notes.
Or simply search for the Brain Candy podcast on your podcast app.